Hello everybody and welcome to today's group premium review. For those who haven't met me before, my name's Heather Murdoch. I'm part of the Ezoic team looking after Access Now publishers. These live streams, we started doing them a good few weeks ago now. They take place every Wednesday at 9 a.m. The exception to that will be next week because it's the winter holidays here. And so whilst I'll be working for a couple of hours in the morning on Wednesday to answer any community threads that have come in, I won't be doing a live session, but look forward to catching up with you all again that first Wednesday in January. So how these live sessions work is that you can ask any questions that you would like about Ezoic in general, our tools, your data, any concerns that you're seeing, or the wider publishing space as well. I'll stay online for as long as questions are coming in, or up until 10 a.m. If everyone does have their questions answered, then I do finish these sessions early. That then enables me to answer emails and tickets and to support publishers through the ticketing system or community system that we have here at Ezoic. So please do let me know your questions just as soon as you can, and then I'll be happy to answer them for you. Just while we're waiting for the questions to come in, one of the things that I wanted to highlight today is Ezoic's Community Campus. So what this is, it's a place where yourselves as publishers can learn and share and celebrate your successes together. And you can get tips and discover new strategies. The community is filled with experts both from Ezoic and then also from our publishers as well, with different projects that they've tried and different things that they've looked at, which can really help them to grow their business. There's a wealth of information in there already that covers things like CDN, caching, Core Web Vitals, Humix, Flickerfy, general tips as well in terms of how to improve your workflow or how to improve the way that you're looking at your business in terms of picking the niche for your website as well. So there's a lot of information in there that can really help you to grow your business and to learn more about Ezoic as well. Also, what I wanted to let you know about is that our end of year survey has just been released. It's in your news feed. So if you take a look at your Ezoic dashboard and go to your news feed, it's in there for you. And I've also put it as part of our featured discussions as well. So if you're on community later and have got a few minutes, please do head over there to our end of year survey. And if you've got any feedback, we'd love to hear from you. The survey is about 5 questions long, I think. So it's quite short. Most of them are sort of toggle boxes, so you can just put a number in there or slide a slider along to let us know how happy you are about different things. And then there's also an option at the end to add feedback. I understand if you prefer not to do that, if you want to have more of a conversation, then I'd love to hear from you. So head over to that end of year survey thread. Let me know what your experiences have been like over the past year. I'd love to help you resolve the queries that you've got and help you to find solutions as well. So please do let me know. And also on there is my winter holiday out of office. So just at the top there, second one down, you can see the winter holiday out of office, so that you know when I'm going to be in a community and when I'm not, just so you know in terms of the threads that I've created, what my response times are going to be. In short, I'll be working right up until Friday on the UK time zone. I think I'm finishing sort of early afternoon, and then I'm in on a couple of hours Wednesday next week, and then also a couple of hours on Friday next week as well. And then on Monday, the 2nd of January, it's a bank holiday here in the UK. So again, I won't be in for the full day, but we'll be in for a couple of hours in the morning, checking on the threads. the wider community team that includes our community leadership and the community tech support. They'll be working throughout the Christmas period. The only exceptions to that is the Sunday of Christmas Day, and then also the Saturday of Christmas Eve as well. So this coming weekend, the team will be out, and that's so that they can spend time with their families over this winter holiday period. Okay, so the other thing to take you through is also the Ezoic blog. For those of you who have been on my live streams before, you'll know that this is a favourite of mine to share content with you all from the Ezoic blog. There's a wealth of information in there from our team, both to help you with Ezoic and our tools, but also to help you with your wider publishing business goals and also the wider publishing space as well. So I know many of our publishers with their websites, there's two sort of layers to your business. The first is to be growing your current site and to then be earning revenue from that, to turn that into a salary or a side hustle salary, essentially for yourself. And also alongside that, it's about building websites so that you can then sell them on as well. So this article from Anthony Moore may help you with sort of your business planning around that. And then also, for those of you who are perhaps struggling to get traffic to your site, maybe you've been hit with Google algorithms this year, or maybe it's a side hustle that you put to one side and are now looking to pick up again. This article about 5 proven ways to get more traffic to your site could really help you with different solutions as well. Okay, so I hope you find those articles interesting if you do get a chance to read them. I know how busy you all are as publishers and how many different things that you're juggling. So one thing that I always recommend as well is to pop your email address into here and subscribe to our blogs. That way the information comes straight into your inbox, and if you've got 5 minutes throughout the day, you can take a quick look at that, and it just saves you that extra step of sort of remembering to go over to the blog and read those articles. So there we go. So just waiting for any questions to come in. If you do have any questions that you would like me to answer, then do let me know. I'd be delighted to help answer them for you. For those of you who haven't been on the live sessions before, you can ask anything that you would like about your Ezoic dashboard, the Ezoic tools, or the wider publishing space, or just any concerns that you've got that you're seeing in your data that you would like us to take a look at today for you and get a live answer. Also, what's worth doing is if you're watching this on playback, do head over to community and take a look at the live learning thread that we have there with myself. I keep an eye on that thread, so if you do have any questions after watching today's session, you think, oh, I wish I was there, I could have asked that, head over to that thread and I'll take a look at that query just as soon as I can and get back to you. Okay, so we've got our first question coming in. Thank you so much. So the question has come in from Siobhan. Siobhan has said, hi, I recently encountered an origin error. I checked the FAQ, but I couldn't understand much. I just cleared cache and the issue got resolved, but I fear it may happen again. So what should I do to ensure it doesn't happen again? Okay, so what I would recommend doing with this is going first of all to our support articles. I think you mentioned there that you've seen them, and then working through the steps that the support article recommends to take. I can understand if you're not a technical person, things like this can feel really overwhelming. And what I would recommend doing is just taking some time to read through each step and just focus on moving through each step that we've listed here, and that can really help you to get this resolved. So just to take a step back, if you've not ever come across origin errors before, the reason why that you're seeing this is because sometimes hosts can see Izoic's IPs as being miscategorized as bot traffic. And so as a security feature or by your host, they will put a origin error on there, and that's to protect your site. So all you need to do is to reach out to your host to begin with and ask them to whitelist Izoic's IP addresses. We work with lots of hosts. We have thousands of publishers. So don't worry. I can understand it might feel quite overwhelming to ask your host to do this, but from your host point of view, they've been asked this before or are aware of this. So it's not something that is new to them. They'll be really used to this request and will be able to explain their processes and how they can support you within the hosting that they provide. So you can send them this article, or you can copy and post the IP addresses over to them. Once you've whitelisted the above IPs, please do contact our team, and it talks you through the guidelines here for contacting support. So we can then complete the request for you on our side and check that everything has gone through okay. So that would be the first step I would recommend, Siobhan. And then once you've done that, see how things go. There are other options for you to do, which is to set up an X forwarded for header and use agent authentication. So these are slightly more technical in terms of explaining them to your host, and it depends on whether you're on a shared server or not, whether some of these functionalities will be available to you. But the first step that I would recommend is reaching out to your host, asking them to whitelist Izoic's IP addresses, and then letting us know by contacting our team through the guidance there, and then we can then check that out for you and let you know. If you do have any concerns as well, do reach out to community about this. We can help support you with the information, and also let the tech team know the changes that you've made, and so that they can check everything is okay from their side as well. So I hope that helps, Siobhan. Do let us know if you have any questions. Be delighted to help you further with that. Okay, so just while we're waiting for the next question to come in, one of the things that I wanted to take you through is the levels scores within your Izoic dashboard. This is a really great way to see what optimizations are available to you to help improve your overall score with Izoic. The higher the optimization score that you have, the more functionality that you're using within Izoic, and the higher your EPMV is likely to be for your site, how it currently is now. So with the optimization scores, if you go to the levels tab and click on scores here, and click on the downward arrows for each one, different boxes will appear. If you're seeing anything that's 100 out of 100 and it's in green, that's great. That means that you've done everything with that, and you can just leave that, everything's okay. If it's not out of 100 or 50 out of 100, if you click on the box, it will talk you through why you're getting that score, and then also the steps that you can take to improve that score as well. So again, if you've got some time over the Christmas period, it's worth taking a look at that and then getting all that set up so that you're optimally set up for January. No problem, Siobhan, you're so welcome. Okay, so in January, it's going to be a completely different year, but also it's going to be a completely different ad space that you're going to be in than you have experienced over the last couple of months. So the way ad rates work is that quarter four is the highest ad rates of the year. A lot of publishers find that this is where they make the majority of their money in the last quarter of the year. And the reason for that is advertisers are wanting to put that ad spend into this time period, because that's when consumers are buying gifts for Christmas, Thanksgiving, also around Halloween, and the back to school and back to college period. So from a business point of view, they make a lot of their revenue as well from this last quarter of the year. What happens in January is all consumers pull back on their spending after the winter period. They no longer have as much disposable income. They're focused on saving money and paying off the Christmas bills. Advertisers know this, and so they also pull back on their ad spending as well. What advertisers are also doing is they're taking a look at the previous year's ad spend, where they put their money and the results that it got them, and then are looking at how they can then make the most of their money for the year ahead. So what you find is in January there is a big drop off in ad rates. It's entirely normal, entirely to be expected, because of the seasonality of ad rates. What we do find though is that it's a really good time of year for you to be able to work on your site, build up your business plan, and set yourself up for success in the year ahead. It's worth taking a look at Iseric's live streams on YouTube, and subscribing to YouTube as well. There's going to be a lot of focus on the live streams and on these kind of sessions on setting your business up for success in 2023 in January. Because the ad rates are so low, it gives you an opportunity to focus on getting your Core Web Vitals up to green, using our different tools such as Flickify, Humix, and Niche IQ Topics, so that you're then able to fully understand them in terms of how they can benefit your business, and look at ways to then be able to build on that to grow your business further. Iseric's a data company, and we have a lot of data within your big data analytics, which helps us to understand how your readers are getting to your website page, how they're navigating around your website page in terms of the user experience that they have, and how that they're then monetizing as well. So that you can use this information to then look at areas of your business that are profitable for you in terms of highest EPMV, but perhaps you haven't got quite so much content. So you can use this information to then build up your content plan, and you can also use this information to then build out your marketing plan as well. Advertisers love organic traffic. They're willing to pay more to put ads in front of organic traffic, and they also love to see really strong user experience metrics. And the reason for that is that research has shown that the stronger the user experience metrics are on a site, the more positive experience that the readers have and associate with advertising brand on that site as well. So big data analytics gives you all that information and helps you to then use it to grow your business, both from a traffic point of view and also an EPMV point of view. And the best way to get the revenue goals that you're looking for is to increase both your traffic and also your EPMV alongside each other. Obviously in January, what you're looking for is being able to get the most EPMV that you can for your site at that particular time period. You're not necessarily going to be able to grow your EPMV from January to December. That would be very unlikely because of the way ad rates are at that time of year. But what you can do is really look at your Iseric Levels dashboard setup. Maybe you're not using Flickify or Humix at the moment, and by using those with the grow and share functions, you can earn up to 15% additional EPMV on average than publishers that don't use Flickify and Humix. So it's finding those wins to be able to grow your business and get everything set up in January and keep using that. And as the ad rates grow throughout the year, they tend to grow towards Easter. So you'll see that growth in your EPMV, and also on the ad revenue index as well in terms of those changes. If you haven't seen the ad revenue index before, I would definitely recommend taking a look at that. The ad revenue index shows the ad rates back in from 2016 to today, and you can see on there the different time periods when COVID hit and the drop in ad rates, but also the recovery of those ad rates as well. What's really interesting about internet advertising is that it's often the first to be scaled back on, and because it's so easy to switch on or off by the advertising companies, but it's also the first advertising that tends to be switched back on again. And again, the reason for that is it's really quick to switch back on, but also advertisers have a wealth of information from their advertising campaigns. They can see where they're spending their money, and they can also see where the results are that it's getting them from that spend. So it enables them to really use data to grow their business, and also you can use your data that you've got within big data analytics to grow your business too. Hi Nahom, it's lovely to meet you as well. So Nahom has said, hello Heather, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing really well, Nahom, as well, and everything's going well for you. So what I'll do is I'll stay on the line for another sort of 5 minutes or so. If you've got any questions coming in, I'd be happy to answer those for you. So if you do have any questions, please let me know. Whether you're listening on Facebook or YouTube, if you put your questions in the comments, they come through to me automatically, and I can see them on a feed that runs on another screen that I've got, and I can help answer them for you. Okay, so Siobhan has said, how to stop or delete direct ad orders. I created a couple of test ads to experiment, but I'm not able to see any option to stop or delete them. Okay. So with the direct ad orders, if you go, I think it's to the end of the direct ad order that you've set up, there might be 3 dots at the end there. If you click on those 3 dots, you should be able to pause the ad order within the app there. If you don't see that, do reach out to me on community, Siobhan, and I can take a look at that for you and get those paused. That's no problem at all. So Nahoma said, I want to ask, what decide my revenue for the daily visits? Is it that the page view or the visits matter? Okay. So Nahoma, with this is an interesting question around how EPMV works. So EPMV is based on a number of different factors, and it's very wide ranging. So just going to cover a few of those things. So things like the country of origin for your visitors, the device that they use. So if your readers come to your website on a desktop device, you'll find that on the whole desktop EPMV is a lot higher. And the reason for that is that desktops have obviously got a bigger screen. We can put bigger ads on the screen and multiple ads on the screen at the same time as well, rather than mobile, which is obviously smaller ads, but also tends to only be one ad as you're kind of scrolling through. Also, what can impact EPMV is the number of pages that the readers visit, the length of time they spend on your website as well, and also the type of pages that they go to in terms of what content's on them. In terms of the way advertisers decide to put ads on your website page, it happens in 2 different ways mainly. So the first is because they have information that about that reader, and it might be that they've visited the company's site before they've gone to your website blog, or that the advertiser knows that that reader is in a current stage of their life that their product or service will be able to help them with. And so they use that information to then target that reader specifically on your website page, or it's done through the content that your website page is about. So it might be, for example, that you're talking about a particular brand, and within that particular brand, you do reviews and say how good they are, and so the advertiser wants to put their brand near to your content about them, because then they know that that reader has come to that website page to find out more about that brand, and then the advertiser wants to take the reader from your website page, once they've got all the information from your website page, to their company website, so that the reader can make a purchase either from a product or service as well. So those are all the different factors that go into the EPMV, and then alongside that as well, it's about how your Ezoic dashboard is set up. So going to the levels page here, working through all the optimization opportunities, getting all that set up can help you to make the most EPMV for your website. I've got an article within the community about this, which is about how to grow your EPMV. So what I would recommend doing after today in a home is head over to community, take a look at that article, and work through that step by step. It takes you through an understanding of what EPMV is, how to optimize your site, but then also how to use data to grow your business as well. So Nahoma has said, I don't have sidebar ads for my site. Desktop visits. How can I add that? When readers view my content on desktop, both sides are blank spaces. Okay, Nahum. So what I would recommend doing with this is you've got a couple of different options. So Ezoic has released a new ad format this week, so it's all quite new. Just been signed out of my account, unfortunately, so I can't show you that information, but I'll try and direct you to there. So if you go to the Ezoic Ads button on the top navigation, and then go to Add Types, and then look for the Add Sidebar Rails, you can switch on the Add Sidebar Rails, and what they do is they sit on the very outskirts of your website page. They do depend on the width of your reader's device that they are using. So if somebody is using a very small laptop, then the sidebar rails won't show. If somebody's using a really large gaming screen, for example, to view your website, then the sidebar rails are going to show. In terms of the sidebar ads, which are slightly different from sidebar rails, sidebar ads, what you need is to have a sidebar on your site. So a sidebar is like this part here, where you've got sort of different widgets in which promote your content, and different signups. And then what you can do is either using the Chrome extension and put sidebar ads in between the different content types, or use the WordPress plugin sidebar ads to place those ads within your website page. There are numerous different sidebar ads that you can use. So the sidebar top, middle, bottom, sidebar floating, and then also native sidebar ads that you can put in there as well. The thing to be aware of is you need to make sure that there's a piece of content or a widget, depending on how your sidebar is set up, between each ad type. The only exception to this is right at the bottom of your sidebar. You can have a sidebar bottom ad placeholder and then a sidebar floating ad placeholder underneath it. And the reason for that is a sidebar bottom ad placeholder will show, and then as you scroll past that, or as the reader scrolls past that, the sidebar floating ad placeholder will then show, and it will stick in place. And this white space here, rather than it being blank, you can monetize that with the sidebar floating placeholder. It's really important to remember that with the sidebar floating placeholder, you can't have any content underneath it. If you do, that's an AdSense violation, and it could lead Google AdSense to pausing or even stopping ads from showing on your website. So it's really important that when you're setting up the sidebar floating placeholder, that you've just taken that into consideration. So Nahoma said, I'm not sure if I have been on Ezoic for 90 days. My visits past 20,000, and hopefully I will meet the revenue requirements for level 2 is 90 days requirement strict. So in terms of the levels, as you grow in both your revenue and visits, you'll be moved up the levels. The leveling up process for access now to level 1 takes place automatically. Once you reach those requirements, but they are based on the previous 30 days closed month. So for example, today we're at the 21st of December. So in your Ezoic dashboard, the data that will be showing in your levels will be for November. Once we get to the 1st of January, the levels dashboard will show your data for visits and revenue in December. And then if you're at Access Now and have hit the level 1 requirements for visits and revenue, you'll automatically get moved up over the coming days at the first part of the month. What happens with level 2 or higher, our team take a look at the sites around the 9th to the 10th of each month, and what they're doing is they're looking at the closed month previous. So for example, if we're in January, they'll be looking at your data in December. If you've hit both the visits and the revenue requirements, they'll automatically move you up to level 2. So when you hit level 2, you get additional advertisers. You also get additional support from our publisher success team in terms of you can open tickets directly with them. You're also free to use community if it's something that you enjoy, and also these live streams as well if you find them useful. I'd love to spend time with you folks on them as well. And also when you hit level 2, what happens is that your complexity of your traffic has increased from the previous level. And so over the time period when advertisers have got different campaigns running, they'll see these different traffic levels and will then be able to put their ads in front of your readers. So that can lead to higher EPMVs as well for you. And also at level 2, you are now then part of the premium waitlist. So what our premium team does is take a look at sites, and when they're ready in terms of the traffic and the revenue, that the team feel that by inviting you to premium, premium will work for you and be successful. They'll also then send out a premium invite for you. It's important to remember that if you don't get a premium invite, it's not that there's anything wrong with your site or that we have any concerns about your site. All we're seeing is that our premium advertisers don't have the traffic within your site that they would be looking to put the ads on. We only invite publishers to premium when we know it's going to be successful for you, and then it's going to make a difference to your business. So if you're not getting a premium invite and it's something that you would really like, focusing on your traffic is the main thing to do. From that, you can then build up the different type of readers that are coming to your site. You can do that through using Niche IQ topics to help grow your content with evergreen keywords. And the more diverse content, the more diverse readers that you're getting to your site, this then enables more advertisers to place ads on your site, and is more likely to mean premium is going to be profitable for you, and then the team will send an invite out. So Shavana said, in the direct deals, there is only an option to edit, not to delete. Stop. You said I can send them to you, so you can delete them. So how do I do that? So Shavana, I'm not sure if I can delete them from your dashboard. And the reason for that is direct ads. Once you set them up, they become part of your advertising that has been placed on your site. And so it's important that we have that data or the visibility of that data, that any data in terms of the revenue that you've gained will be put in as part of your reporting underneath mediation, and also part of the big data analytics. So if we deleted the direct ads, I think that would remove that information, but I can certainly get them stopped. If you can head over to Community Siobhan, I'll get the URL for you so that you've got that. Bear with me. So I'll just put that in the comments there. You don't need to put your site name. I can, as an admin, go in and see your site name and be able to then take a look at your dashboard and get those stopped for you. Just create a new thread. So when you go into community, click on that new thread button, and then just put a short description of the information. I can then take a look at that for you and get that resolved. So Nahoma said, but I can directly be level 2 from Access Now if I meet the requirements and have been EZOIC for less than 90 days. So you can certainly go direct from Access Now to level 2. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen that happen, and even higher as well, where publishers have brought sites to EZOIC through the Access Now program, used our tools to grow their content and also grow their revenue, and have moved up to level 2s and level 3s straight from Access Now. I believe that you do have to be with EZOIC for the 90 days to move up to level 2, and the reason for that is within those 90 days, there's a lot of additional support that you folks get within the onboarding team. There's a team there for you on both the UK time zone and also the US time zone. So it's really important to spend that time with that team. It helps you to understand more about EZOIC, the different tools that we have and how you can use them to grow your business, and the teams there can support you with any questions that you've got. But great to see, Nahome, how well your site is growing. It's always wonderful for us to be able to see the growth of publishers' businesses. It's something that really inspires us to grow and develop ourselves further as companies, but also as individuals, to be able to support you all as well. One of the things that's really interesting, I think, about EZOIC is that many of the people that you'll be interacting with within EZOIC are publishers themselves. So it's lovely for us to be able to see the success that you folks are having, because we know how hard one it is and all the work and effort that you've put in. So we love having the opportunity to celebrate celebrate your success. So congratulations, and I look forward to seeing your site grow even further, Nahome. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give it another couple of minutes just to see if any more questions come in, and then we'll close it for today. For those, you're so welcome, Nahome. So Nahome said, thank you. This live session's helped me a lot. You're so welcome. I'm really glad that they do. I have a lot of fun doing them and really enjoy spending time with you folks. So that's really wonderful for me to hear, and really wonderful that you're getting a lot of support from them as well. That's fantastic. So just to let you folks know, just before we finish today, if you head over to community, there's the end of year survey here. So if you do have any feedback, do let me know in that survey. You can either answer the survey directly, or if you prefer not to, you can just add your feedback to that thread, and I'll keep an eye on that and reply to the discussions that are in there. And then also there's my winter holiday out of office on there as well, so I won't be doing a live session next Wednesday. I am on my winter break, but I will be back the first Wednesday in January. I will be around for a couple of hours on the Wednesday and Friday of the Christmas sort of winter break period. So I will look out for any questions you've got in the threads that I've got set up. And then also the wider community leadership and tech support team, they'll be around for you over the Christmas period. I think the only times that community doesn't have the team members looking after it is on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and that's so we can spend some time with our families. So please do bear with us over that time period in community. We are all just taking a couple of days off over those key holiday dates, and look forward to catching up with you again just as soon as we're back. Okay, so I don't think there's any more questions coming in, so I'll close the session now. Just wanted to say thank you all so much for joining me on these live sessions. There's something that I really enjoy doing and love spending time with you all. And I look forward to catching up with you all again in January and working with you to grow your business. Take care, everybody. Oh, you're so welcome, Michael. Take care. Bye for now.